4 days. You'll have the complete basics and advanced trainings, how to operate SecOps, what all are the features, and how you could be competent while doing some developing the SOAR platform around that. Okay. So in the 8 days, my major intent will be to cover the introduction to the SOAR technology, because ServiceNow SecOps is a SOAR tool, that is security orchestration and automated response. Okay. So for the people who are not from cybersecurity background, SOAR is a very important terminology, because SOAR takes care completely about any of the incidents or any of the hacks or breach happening in the IT environment. SOAR take care of complete response activities, starting from the orchestration. We'll get to know this terms of which I'm speaking about, orchestration or containment. So it's kind of an automated workflows designed to respond to a particular incident or breach. So that will have a deep down introduction to SOAR platform. Okay. Then we'll discuss about the competitors in SOAR, that which all the companies or brands or products are already active in the SOAR platform, and how does the ServiceNow SecOps differ from all those, and where does it stand in the Gartner quadrant. So that all things we are going to cover in the SOAR competitors. Okay. Then comes this need of SecOps. That why do we really need that? We already have ITSM in place. We already have tickets. We already have incident lifecycle. Then why this additional SecOps? So then we are going to discuss the deep dive details of need of the SecOps. Okay. Then after that, I'm going to discuss one by one in the particular day. That is day 2, day 3, and day 4. That is the first thing will be going with the threat response piece of ServiceNow SecOps. That is the important expect and the feature module of the SecOps, where we are going to take care about the threat response, and that all covers the security incident response. So unless, yeah, likely you say that word ticket in other ITSM tools like ServiceNow, BMC Remedy, or Symphony, there the terminology used for threat response is SIR, that is security incident response. Okay, and then we'll be integrating it with other technologies, how to integrate that, and how to initiate the auto containment part. So that all things will be covered inside the threat response piece of it, and that will cover 40 to 50% of the SecOps training. Then we'll be having another different, very important module, that is vulnerability response. And I think most of the organizations, the adaptability towards SecOps has gone more traction because of this vulnerability response feature. Because this particular ServiceNow SecOps can handle thousands and thousands of vulnerabilities in a very organized manner on the SecOps platform to route it to the correct teams, and also to initiate the automated response and the risk assignments, CMDBs, NVD attachment, and as well as the patch management as well. So again, vulnerability response is a very important aspect of SecOps, and that will cover about 25% of the overall SecOps training. Okay. Then finally, we have something called threat intelligence, where it's basically a data enrichment facility that you can apply on the top of threat response or the vulnerability response, where you'll be importing the third-party threat intel feeds for the data enrichment, or for the auto priority or auto assignment of the incidents, where you don't have to decide with some algorithms, because you'll get directly this threat intel score from the other third-party vendors, and on that basis you'll directly get assigned a particular priority to the ticket. It could be high, low, medium, critical, or your own customized manner. So that's way that this threat intel plays a very important role in the data enrichment part of it, and that will cover around 10% of the overall SecOps training. And then finally, I have kept a fourth day or the fifth day reserve for the demo, where we are actually we'll be covering the demo through the screenshots, and I'll be giving you some assignments to do at your own. It's kind of a homework for you. Whatever the things you have run in 3 4 days, you could implement that on the actual platform, and then you can work according to that particular assignment. I can help you to complete that assignments, and I can, because those all practical things will give you more confidence to how to operate SecOps, and how you complete a basic project first and then going to an advanced level project. So that all things will be covered in the demo session. That is all the modules that has been designed. I'll be going day by day, but before that I would just like to have some questions, or any of you who are completely unaware of this terminologies what I've spoken about. So all those things we could discuss. So I'll just give you a 2 minutes of time. If you have some queries, you can pull it out on this particular slide. I hope you all are able to catch up my speed. Am I going too fast, or is it okay?
It is okay, Shobit. I mean, like I'm okay, but I'm not sure the other person. I have some, I mean, basic idea about these things, threat response and need of SecOps. Uh, but like we would like to know how this can be used in the organization, like domain specific things, and how they are going to implement, like in domain specific and single instances, how this going to be used, this SecOps, and how
Yeah.
about the, I mean, how is the market of the SecOps? This kind of stuff we need to know. Like,
Mhm.
I mean, what kind of experience they are looking for the SecOps, uh,
Yeah.
and what kind of
Yeah.
prerequisites we need to learn before taking this course.
Mhm.
Yeah, so we need those kind of details.
Yeah. So first thing is need of a SecOps engineer is at the most priority because it's a sole platform. It's very new in the market. There is no competitions yet with the known engineers because it's a very new technology. Most of the people don't know about it much. At the same time, because of this pandemic situations and people working from home, the raise of security incidents has surged up a lot. So that's why the urgency of installing the SOAR modules has become quite high. But the good thing is ServiceNow provides us the same vanilla flavor which they have deployed it in their ITSM tool. So once I'll show you the actual SecOps platform while doing the training, you will feel like as if it was the same ITSM platform that you are using. So the forms which we use to build in ServiceNow, the ITSM tool, the background workflows that we create a form, we create some work groups, we create some components in the form. So those all things remain as it is. So the vanilla flavor is still being taken over the same. Only the backend algorithms has been changed a lot, and there's a more of automation that has been put upon, so there is lesser load on the developers. That you just have to learn the basics of the API integration, or you might already having such integrations in before, and it's more of knowing about the features rather than building a new, because you'll get a completely drag and down option to build the new modules, to bring up the new form, to create a new teams on that for the assignees and all those things. And there is I would say it's more than 60% of the automation that plays a role over here. Your job is to your job is to create all the forms what is required from a SOC team. SOC team is a security team that will be raising the request for you how to build up a workflow at the backend so that the SecOps can work good. So in terms of demand, definitely SecOps, after doing the SecOps training, you'll have an edge over the other competitors of yours over in the market. Okay. And in terms of prerequisite, yeah, that's a very good question. That how what all prerequisite is required. So I would suggest the people who are coming already from an ITSM background will have a little bit on the plus side that they will get the things very quickly. Okay, that's the first thing. But being a complete demo, that is being the complete training, including the basics in advance, I'll try to cover each and every terminology that is also related with ITSMs and all those things. So it can be a brush up for the experienced people, and for the freshers, it will be good to have knowledge. You'll be learning new terminology, so don't worry about if you miss something. We'll be taking care of freshers as well. But as a prerequisite, I would suggest if a slight background on the ITSM, irrespective of ServiceNow, it could be BMCs or it can be Symphony, it could be any. A slight background on the ITSM tool will give a very much plus side on the having the overall technical knowledge on the SecOps. That is the only prerequisite I require from you.
Okay, is it required any like I mean, like any development? See, I don't have any background about the integration. Like I didn't worked on the integrations in the service now. Like I'm only into the support only, like ITSM support, and I will work like some kind of issues in the service now. So, do we
Got it.
need any like yeah? I mean, like any integration background? I don't have any integration background. So do we need to learn again on this? Like, is that will be covered in this session?
Okay. So in terms of the integration technologies, we are mostly going to put weightage on the REST API. That's a
Mm-hmm.
handshake between the two of the technologies. But the good thing is that you don't need to write the code for building the APIs. ServiceNow already has done that work for you. So what you have done is you have a marketplace inside the ServiceNow SecOps. where you can just download the plugins for the supported technologies. I'm just giving an example. Let's say you want to integrate a checkpoint firewall with this particular SecOps. Okay.
Mhm.
So for that checkpoint firewall, the plugins are already available at the marketplace. You just need
Yep.
to install them on the SecOps. Once it will be installed, automatically it will pull in all the APIs which are required. And you just need to fill out the very limited details like IP, source IP details, and the port number, and
Mhm.
wherever there is a requirement of username and password. And you need to decide some standard parameters. It could be three or four more parameters. And for that, you already have the documents for each and every technology available on the SecOps portal. So
Mhm.
all those things are very much good. There is no coding required as such or new development required for integrating the new technologies. It's kind of a more a plug and play model.
Okay. Is this required to be like understanding of the CMDB or something? Like, do
I'll
we
cover
need?
that. So these all terminologies like CMDB, NVD, orchestrations, or auto containment. Yeah, these technologies need to be known, but I'll take care of all these terminologies inside my actual training.
Mhm.
Yeah. So just since you have not logged in with your names, I cannot see if any other people has doubt. I can only see person's name like IC A3 A5 like that. You could pull out your questions. Is it all clear or crystal clear? Okay.
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay. So there are no further doubts. I'll just move into the day-wise training material that will be in depth. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So as a first, we are going to cover on the day first, that is the security incident response, where apart from having the basics about SOAR, SecOps, and needs of SecOps, we'll be going deep dive into the first module, that is security incident response. We'll understand what is the meaning of that particular SIR is, what all are the properties that makes a particular incident applicable for SIR, and how it is different from an ordinary ITSM ticket, okay, or an incident. Then we are going to take care about the incident response lifecycle, how that is being followed in the ServiceNow SecOps, and the orchestration flow. So let's say if a SOC team, which is a security team, requests you to build some workflows at the back end. Let's say a team, I'm sorry, yeah. Let's say a task A should automatically be created once a particular incident has been logged on, and that particular task A should be assigned to team A or team B or followed by team B or team C. So all those things they will be demanding to you. It will be your job to follow this all this orchestration and build that particular forms. So it would be follow forms, or it could be one forms rolling over to different teams, or it could be a parent-child ticket formology as well. So all those things will cover inside the orchestration part. It will be similar to the ITSM tickets, but there are a lot of more values apart from a normal ticket being there. Then we are going to take care about a new framework that is called List framework. It is specifically designed for the security incidents. It's a cybersecurity framework, and how the ServiceNow SecOps has built the complete platform around this NIST framework. So we are going to discuss that, deep dive into that. It has 7 stages, and all the 7 stages are replicated on the SecOps. Okay, so it has stages like draft or validation, containment, eradication, recovery, or a post-recovery review. So all those things we are going to take care inside the NIST framework. Okay. Then we have something called incident lifecycle. Incident lifecycle is how from a creation of a particular SIR, what all things are required for enriching their SIR, how to pass it on this particular SIR to different teams. That is a basic level. And to the more advanced level, you could be passing this SIR in a form of a ticket to the other ITSM tools. So let's say an SIR created in the SecOps could be get converted into a ticket into the BMC, or could be ticket converted into the ServiceNow itself. So all those things will be the part of the incident lifecycle. Okay. Then comes this parent-child SIR, that is again increasing the complexity. What does a CI mean by a ticket and a task? So these all things will be included inside an SIR. So SIR would be the most biggest term. Inside that, all those things will be taken care. Okay. Yeah. So then we have on the first day we have the data ingestion with the SIM. SIM is a cybersecurity technology. Another it could be firewall, WAF, antivirus, so whatever the technologies from where we could ingest the data inside the SecOps. As we were discussing in the previous slide, that integrating it with the third-party technologies with the REST API, we are going to cover that. Okay. Then we have something called auto containment module, where all this term security technologies like firewalls and SIM. So SecOps allows you to take control of all these devices and directly push a rule on all these devices, firewalls or proxies, etc. So you could directly integrate with all those technologies and could actually take the response actions on all those devices. That is again the most advanced features of the ServiceNow SecOps. And finally, how to ingest the runbooks and playbooks as a wiki or as a knowledge base and inside the ServiceNow SecOps. Okay, so that will be the first day training module for covering the security incident response. Okay, any questions on this?
Uh, no, no, we are yes. But if we go in depth, then we can get the questions. But I think all the topics are covered in this security. I feel.
Yeah, it will be a complete end-to-end thing. So whatever the things comes as a part of security incident response, we are going to go with the basics, and on the same day we are going to go with the advanced as well. No worries.
Oh, okay.
Day two will be dedicated to the vulnerability response. That is the first day, the vulnerability response lifecycle. What is the lifecycle being defined inside the vulnerability response? What all things we have to take care from? Yeah, I'm sorry, I was speaking on mute. So in the first phase, the vulnerability response lifecycle, we are going to take care of from which vulnerability scanners you can input the data into the SecOps. Okay. After you get the vulnerabilities reported as a VIT, unlike likely we have the SIT, we have VIT for the vulnerabilities. Okay. Then what you do with the VIT, how you get the data enrichment from the CMDB or from the NVD data, how you can enrich that vulnerability automatically, how can you assign the priorities for all the vulnerabilities, and then on the basis of the priorities or on the name of the vulnerability, how could you automatically assign those vulnerability to different groups. Groups could be team 1, team 2, team 3. It could be named as firewall team, antivirus team, endpoints team, and etc. And how to automate this complete workflow, like from the ingestion of the vulnerability into the SecOps, assigning it into the priority, grouping the same types of vulnerabilities in a single group, and finally automatically assigning those vulnerabilities to a particular team. So that all automated orchestrations you have to perform as a SecOps developer for making the task easier for the security teams. Okay. Then second part comes as setting up the VR visions and outcomes. That what all queries you have to ask with your security team to build up an architecture, to build up the solutions around SecOps. So that will be covering the setup VR vision, that is vulnerability response vision and the outcomes. The third part comes as checking your team readiness and the implementation. So that how many project timelines you require to completely automate this life cycle depending on the project size, and how could you check your own team readiness and the implementation life cycle at your organization. Okay. For the freshers, it's a good term to have upon that what all things are there as a project plan inside the implementation, how many months are required, and on what basis, on what matrices we come up to the deadlines. Okay, so these all things will be decided over here. Then this is a very crucial activity inside a vulnerability response. And whichever the organization neglects this part, they don't have a complete success plan for the vulnerability response lifecycle. That is governance and the organized change management. So this is again a very important aspect in phrasing the complete vulnerability response lifecycle. That is governance and the change management part, and how to introduce that in the vulnerability response lifecycle. Okay. Then again, likely we have seen in the previous slide, the integration with third party. Here we are going to integrate, see the integration possible with some of the vulnerability scanners like Nasus and Tenable. These two are the cybersecurity technologies which are responsible for doing a vulnerability scan. Okay. Then as I discussed previously, that how to assign a risk score automatically by integrating it with the national vulnerability database. So that is the NVD integration that I think some of you has asked question around the NVD as well. And then finally, the automated ticket assignment. It's more of an ITSM task, that is patch management and auto assignment of tasks, based on the logics, groupings, the vulnerability names, and the criticality of the vulnerability. So that all things we are going to cover in the day two, that is vulnerability response. I'll give you a time of around 1 minute to have any queries on this. I
Actually, I
hope.
have a query on day one module topics.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, sure.
So can you please scroll? Actually, I just want to know like integration with third party OEMs.
Okay.
So just do it contains only threat lookups type of integration or something other than that too?
No, threat lookup is not an auto containment. Okay.
Okay.
Auto containment is, let's say, I'll just give you some basics about a firewall.
Hmm.
Firewall is a cybersecurity technology, and I hope you already knew the basics of that. That it
Yeah.
can block any of the external IPs or ports on the perimeter level, right?
Okay.
Now, what a cybersecurity team expects from the SecOps is, in case of a critical breach or a hacked or a ransomware attacks and all those things, they don't have a time to follow all this life cycle and to pass the incident or task to the
Huh.
different teams and action upon, right? So
Yeah.
what at that time we could do is we could integrate with a technology like firewall, and we
Hmm.
could initiate that blocking of that IP automatically from the SecOps, because SecOps has already that engineered all those backend things. You just need to integrate it with OEMs like the Sophos, Palo Alto, Checkpoint, or antivirus could be other antivirus and all those things. So where you can directly do a response or pushing a rule on this actual technology. So let's say firewall is doing a blocking thing, you could actually block a particular IP using SecOps directly on the firewall. So that is the power of the auto containment part.
Okay. Okay. Now I able to got it like what it
Threat
covers. Yeah.
lookup is more kind of a data enrichment
Huh. Yeah. So like
that will only
observables.
give some risk or the more of the more information about a particular SIR, but it will not allow you to take the response directly on the OEMs.
So like we need to like but integration or something like that. So we need to have used to buy a paid version or like you help us in integrating with trial version only.
Can you just repeat your question? I think I
I
didn't get
said
it.
like the integrations that you covered in day one incident response are they be need to be pay or something on the basis of trial it would be successful implementation through that.
No, the training is only for the demonstration purpose. You could use
Hmm.
this knowledge because I'm going to showcase with the major OEMs. Once you get to know about a single, let's say you are very much confident after the training to integrate any of the OEM, it will be an
Huh.
easy task for you to integrate with any of the OEMs, because it's
Okay.
as I told you, on the SecOps everything is automated, so you don't
Hmm.
need to write any code for integration. You will
Hmm.
just have a plug and play button kind of a thing. You just have to enable that, fill the details of that particular OEM, and
Hmm.
at the back, if there will be a network connection with that particular device, you don't need to worry about it. It will be automatically integrated.
But is it possible in day one like like how much hours of like this course is
We'll
going
try
to?
to extend this particular security incident response within
Hmm.
3 to 4 hours of time. But let's say if all of you are not comfortable with that, we could split the day one into 2 days.
Oh, okay, okay, fine, fine, fine. No issues. No issues.
Ideally I try to keep the theoretical part 3 hours, and I keep half an hour after that buffer or 1 hour for the discussions and your queries. And because I'm going to focus on each one of you, so whatever the
No,
query or wherever you have some doubts or you're stuck somewhere in between, we are going to take care of that.
sure, sure, no issues. So,
So for me, I would extend my sessions as well as 5 hours as well, until and unless you have the interest in that.
Shobit, I have one more question here.
Yeah,
See, in the day one, like you will give the some assignments, right, at the end of the session.
not
So
on the
in
day
that
one,
case,
not on the day one. Yeah,
I
I'll
mean,
just
like the complete
on the
the
last day I'm going to give you the assignments.
yeah. In the assignments, is it will be like daily work? How we'll get this kind of assignments we'll get, or like is it the how the assignments will be? Like what kind of assignments you are going to provide in that in this one?
Okay, so
Like
that
suppose
assignment.
if you join to the, like suppose if you join to the one project of the SecOps project, in the SecOps project, like we have a, like once we join there, like they will ask security team to integrate or something with the third party application or something, then we'll get this kind of assignments, like day to day activities which will run in the project. These kind of assignments we'll get.
Yeah, that's right. And I think that will cover each and every expect what a SOC team will expect from you. So the
Mm-hmm.
assignments what I have designed is a complete project
Mm-hmm.
that from let's say you have your engagement with the security team for 3 months. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So ultimately, whatever the things they are going to ask with you or demand to you, that all things will be covered in that assignment. So that
Mm-hmm.
assignment will be a complete mini project that
Okay.
will allows you to practice each and every feature of SecOps.
Okay, we
So I
can
will not
practice
call it
that in the.
assignment, kind of a mini project.
Okay. Okay. We can do this kind of integration stuff in the demo of the service now, in service now demo instances?
Yeah, so in this current training, there is no demo of the actual instance. That's the first
Mm-hmm.
thing. I'll only have the screenshot for reference wherever the features I have to highlight.
Mm-hmm.
So again, I think you could put this to IT Canvas to Nilima that if you require specifically a demo version. But mostly, since I'll tell you very frankly, um, the amount and the cost of a particular license of the SecOps portal is too way high. It cannot be
Yes,
afforded
yes,
by the
yes.
individual. It's an enterprise license, so it would not be possible in any trainings to get the actual demo portal license because that is only meant for the enterprise level.
Yes, yes. So how can
But
we
what I will
practice
do,
this
I
kind of?
have all the screenshots of the actual demo portal. So at no point of time you'll not feel that we are just going on the theory part of it. I'll just try to focus more on the practical piece of that.
Mhm. Okay.
And at the end of the every day, I'm going to share you the reference documents of the SecOps, where you'll have the complete step-by-step things to utilize the feature of SecOps. It will be a very step-by-step thing that where to click what and what will happen after clicking a particular instance, how to develop all those things. So in terms of
Uh,
documentation, you'll get everything after the end of the training.
okay. Is the documents is related to service now documents, or it's a own your documents you have prepared those documents?
It's a ServiceNow document, but it's a paid one. So you'll only get it once you have the enterprise license.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And most of them could be open source as well, which are published on the internet.
Okay.
Yeah. Any further queries, or if we can move? Let me know if someone has a time constant or if someone has to drop out.
Mm, I
I
think
think
it will get finished by 8 o'clock, right?
yeah, I think by maximum 8, I'll try to finish up. Yeah. So I'll just quickly
Okay,
cover the
okay.
day three of it. That is again a third important aspect of the SecOps. That is, someone has asked me about the threat lookups. That is exactly where the part comes with threat intelligence. Okay. So now SecOps again provides me a facility of enriching every piece of data inside the form by using an external threat intelligence sources. Okay. At the start of this particular day three, I'm going to tell you about what exactly the threat intelligence is in terms of cybersecurity. What is the term called IOC, that is indicator of compromise, and how to utilize that. Okay. Then second part comes is data enrichment and risk scoring. Risk scoring is nothing but to get a true value of a particular SIT or a ticket where you can have built a logic on how to decide high criticality or critical. Okay. If someone can just go on mute, I'm just having a background noise from someone. Thank you. Yeah. The third part goes with the integration with the sticks and taxi mechanism. It is again a different way of doing an integration. Just like we have discussed the REST API integration. Similarly, we have this integration through sticks and taxi. I'm going to tell you how to integrate using an sticks and taxi mechanism. Okay. If someone has already integrated using an XML dynamic updation, that is similar to that. So you'll get an XML sheet outside lying on the internet. You have to pick the values from the XML sheet using the sticks and taxi integration. And it's a very standard way of doing the integration, very simplest, and you don't need to build any code around it. Okay. At the same day, we are going to also see how to build a knowledge article inside the SecOps. Okay, and this knowledge article will be updated as a knowledge base so that the security team can utilize this document at any point of time, and these documents should automatically pop up whenever terminology related to that knowledge article has been used over. Okay, so it's kind of a mini Wikipedia that we are going to build for them in terms of security. Don't worry about the knowledge article inside data, because those all things you are going to get it from the security teams. Okay, then comes this user creation and the responsibilities. How to create a user with different rights on the SecOps, like SecOps developer, SOC analyst, SOC operator, SecOps operators, and all those things, and assigning them the responsibilities based on a RACI matrix. Okay. Then finally, once everything is built up, how to test it on a UAT environment, and to convert the same UAT environment into the production instance. Okay, that all things will cover up the licensing part and the administrative activities and the configuration changes. And then finally comes is this is more of a non-technical knowledge, that is more of a management side, whomsoever are interested in this. That is how we take care of the project life cycle and the management expertise required in the overall project management. That is also good to have, which will set up the overall expectation what on roles and responsibilities of developing the SecOps platform for any organization. So that will have a small look at the project life cycle and the management. Okay. Then at the fourth day, that is the final day. Although depending on your bandwidths, we could extend the day 4 to day 5 or day 6 somewhere by splitting the trainings. Okay. So now at the fourth day, we have a portal walkthrough, if the time allows us to do so, along with the screenshots. Okay. Then integration with the NVD, how to integrate it with the NVD, how I'll tell you that. Features and supports, we'll discuss and brush up again. I'll share you one of the knowledge articles, how the knowledge articles looks like and how to feed them into the portal. Okay. And finally, I'll be sharing you with the assignments for you. That will be first a basic assignment and then an advanced assignment as well. And I'm going to explain you how to complete out the complete project at your side. So that will be the complete training session. Okay. Yeah, I'll just keep the screen blank for your Q&As or any of the expectations what you have from Secures that I have not covered here. I'll try to cover that as well. So I think we just have 5 more minutes left. You can ask your questions now.
Hmm.
Is that the document sharing with us will be soft copy or hard copy?
Uh, the documents at the end of the training you're seeing,
Yeah,
it will be emailed to you. So it will be mostly a soft copy.
yeah. Those are service now paid PDF, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
And Shobit, how many years of experience do you have on the SecOps?
I have around close to 5 years. I mean, not on the SecOps, but on the ServiceNow platform.
Okay.
On the SecOps,
Okay.
I'm trying to build the SecOps technologies and architecture for around more than 2 years.
Okay. Okay.
I have built the SecOps platform for the vulnerability scanners, who is digesting the vulnerabilities in the form of thousands, with the assets having 10,000 assets in an organization. So I have created the
Mhm.
business units and the sub units inside to operate our vulnerability scanner. So my expertise is more on the vulnerability side, but I'll completely take care of SecOps architecture as well.
Okay. And do you have experience on domain specific SecOps, or it's a single instance of SecOps you have?
I have worked on the UK instance, that is London.
Okay. I mean that like it's a single service now instance, right?
Yeah, single service now,
Okay.
where I
Okay.
can enable the SecOps as a feature on the service now.
Okay, so it will be like domain separation. There will be separate. It should be like similar only, but it is a little bit different for the single service instance, right?
Yeah, I think you have some. I got from which where you are coming upon. So in terms of domain separation, we'll try to discuss this in the training, that how we are going to separately create different links, whether it could be a
Mm-hmm.
single link for ServiceNow SecOps, or whether it could be differentiated on the basis of domains, or it could be provided as a single sign-on. All those things we'll just going to discuss. It's more of a I would say you can play a lot and customize it according to your way. Mostly the requirement will come from your security team in what way they want.
Okay. Okay.
Mostly a domain separation is always a good option. The reason is SecOps credentials are never being exposed to the different teams.
Yes. Yes.
Organizations and companies always have a practice to always differentiate between IT people and the SecOps people. So SecOps operators would be hardly two or three in number. And whatever the tickets or tasks has been created on the SecOps, those all things will not be directly be visible to the different IT teams. You have to create a ticket from this SecOps or SIR on their existing ticketing platforms using what should I say? Using a email to ticket form or using an APIs or all those things, right? I'm
Mm-hmm.
getting, are you getting my point, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
these SecOps things will not be visible to any of the IT teams for which you are creating task.
Okay.
Okay.
It's
So again,
all background work which ServiceNow engineer do this one, right?
yeah, and whatever you are going to develop, the outputs of you will only be seen by the security people, the cybersecurity people. They will
Okay.
have the complete
So
rights of the platform.
most of the things we have to work with the cybersecurity team to work on the requirements or something, right?
100%.
Okay.
And security team, that is your SOC team, if you remember, I mean, if you are aware about the SOC term, as well as your vulnerability team, that is the VPT team.
Mm-hmm. Okay. 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 Pushpit. Uh,
So, what is the scope of SecOps in the market right now?
I think it's pretty high. Gartner has already claimed it the next generation technology, and most of the SOC solutions has now claimed to be incomplete without having a SOAR platform. Okay, so the biggest competitors of ServiceNow SecOps are IBM Resilient and Phantom. If you have heard about those two names before, okay. So this is the first
mm,
SOAR platform that has come out from the ITSM player, while the other SOAR technologies are built up from the cybersecurity technologies. But how the SecOps get an urge on all the competitors is the GUI, the user-friendly GUI, and the ease of doing the automation, which is not there in the other SOAR platforms. So, in terms of the market capabilities, I think by year 2023, the market cap for the ServiceNow SecOps is going to be around 3 to 4 billion only for the SecOps licenses. So again, it's on the trend, it's on the hike, and if you are more if you have some visibilities on the cyber security people, you will get to know that how heavily they are investing upon building up this SecOps. But the only thing is they have many challenges to build this because they don't have the expertise engineer available in the market, and it's a tussle between the cybersecurity players and the ITSM player that who are going to take which responsibilities on the SOAR platform.
okay.
I think in terms
And
of the salary, yeah, you could have a very much verge on if you have the SecOps capabilities.
yeah, SecOps, the SecOps alone trouble or GRC is a must part of it.
I'm sorry if you can repeat the question.
I mean, both GRC and SecOps should be learned by us, or only SecOps is enough to have
GRC is
a good
altogether a different technology.
sorry.
GRC is altogether a different thing. We are not going to cover the GRC as a part of SecOps. And
Yeah,
in terms of the
but it is a
cybersecurity,
but it has some connection with security, right?
yes, yes, definitely, yeah. But GRC's objectives cannot be fulfilled with the SecOps.
Okay, okay. So how
I
much?
mean,
If
can I
suppose,
just
yeah,
know your objective, where you are coming from, why you want the GRC to be mixed with the SecOps? GRC is more related to your compliance, ISOs, PCI, PCS, PC, uh, PII and all those data. This is not meant for making the compliance or governance. I mean, for that part. For those things, we already have the technologies like SIM or ITSMs and all those things that covers take case of the ISO 27001 and all those things. SOAR is not at all meant for making any compliance related things. It will not help you in any of the compliance. Only it can make your SOC to the next generation SOC.
Okay. There is a topic involved risk scoring is there, right?
Yeah, risk
They
scoring, right?
showed.
Mm-hmm.
So it is
Okay,
something
yeah,
like you have some connection with
yeah,
GRC.
that's a good catch. That's a good catch. So yeah, I think risk score will play the part in GRC, but these all in the modern day OEMs, you'll automatically get those risk scores from their existing technologies. SIM has its own set of giving the risk scores. Vulnerability scanner itself has an inbuilt risk scoring mechanism. So all those already covers the GRC part. But again, SOAR internal risk score using the third party feeds will have an add-on to the GRC part as well. So yeah, I think it's a good catch, but not that's not the primary objective of risk score by for just for the sake of GRC. It's more for the data enrichment and building the logic for assigning the task to the different teams.
Okay. Okay. So SecOps is more likely be part of cybersecurity, is it?
100%.
Okay. So
It's
now
a
IBM ready
cybersecurity
to,
that
yeah,
cannot be
IBM
developed within efforts of ITSM
cannot be developed.
without the efforts of the ITSM people.
Okay. Okay. So most of the times it has like soap and rest kind of integration type uh, third party applications, right?
Only rest, yeah,
Yeah, only rest.
yeah. SOAP is more of an outdated technology SOAP. You'll not find it coming in the newer technologies anyway.
So Shobit, is it covering any certifications like um,
I think Nilima can
certif-
handle this question. Nilima, will they get any of the academics benefit out of this training as some document like thing, a certification, something? I'll get back to you on this question. I think I'm not the right one to answer this.
okay,
I'm
sure,
here as
sure.
more of a trainer,
Yeah.
so you could ask your technical queries.
Sure.
But I think it will be a great advantage to you to opt for the ServiceNow SecOps developer certification because these are knowledge what we are going to share in the training part. That will cover all your queries and preparations related to your actual SecOps certification. And let's say if your a company is giving you some credits or vouchers to do that, then after that training, I would request you to opt that particular certification program within a month.
Yeah, for certification, I think can we directly buy a voucher for certification, or how to get it without getting trained from ServiceNow?
I mean, the official certificate you will only get it from the ServiceNow people.
Yeah, yes, from ServiceNow.
Yeah, I think if you already have some ServiceNow subscriptions in your organization related to the ITSM, you could just mail on to their particular team. They will give you the proper pricing and all those things for the exams. Because if you'll go by individual, you'll have land up in a lot more price. But if you go with the enterprise accounts to avail the vouchers, it is cheaper and comparatively. I would suggest you better go with your organization approach for collecting the vouchers of the SecOps exam. And most of the organizations of yours, wherever you already have an active ITSM subscription from ServiceNow, they'll definitely give you discount on that.
So right now I don't have any experience in SecOps. So if I learn this without certification, can I be, get
I
placed
can't hear
into
you. I can't hear you. There was lots of noise, so I can't hear you. I'm sorry.
is it good now?
Yeah, it's better.
Yeah. Without certification, can I be placed just by learning without having any experience in practical experience in a project for this SecOps?
So, are you a fresher?
Not a fresher. I have an experience of around 6 years and around
Okay.
5 years in service now.
Okay. In which domain are you in experience?
Manufacturing
I mean, in the terms of technology.
technology. I mean, in service now, are you asking about? Or
Any technology.
okay,
Is it?
JavaScript.
Are you aware of ServiceNow ITSM before?
Yeah, I worked on.
Yes, I think yeah, that will be a good to have experience because most of the people who the recruiters, even myself, when we look out for the SecOps people in the market, the main expectation is to have a core expertise on the ITSM part because SecOps in terms of development is no more far than the normal ITSM platform development. As I said, that it has bring out you more of lot of automation and gives the same vanilla flavor as it was there in the ITSM tool. So might be at the time of training, you could ask me that we cannot find any of the difference between the ITSM and the SecOps. What the exact difference is? So it's good for the developer and just having a native knowledge of ITSM and having the skills of the SecOps will be able to crack interviews with the different companies for the SecOps platform. Most of the companies who are developing the SecOps platform are only dependent on their ITSM people. You will not find any of these SecOps expertise as a different in the market. I think in the LinkedIn there's close to a requirement only in India. I'm saying it's requirement is around 15,000 engineers for SecOps. So
Okay.
the expectation is too high from. I mean, the demand is too high for the SecOps people, and now ultimately since there are no people, they are completing their demands with the normal ITSM people who have a good thorough experience on the ServiceNow ITSM platform.
Okay.
You should be very much thorough with building of the forms in a ServiceNow and the logic, the workflows at the back end. No more than that. It's just in the
Yeah.
SecOps you're learning some new features like third-party integrations, some new terminologies like SITs or VITs. Ultimately, for as a developer, it is no more than the ITSM platform.
I already worked in integration part with the different third-party applications,
Okay,
IBM.
have you
Yeah.
find any difference between a normal ITSM ServiceNow and the SecOps ServiceNow in terms of GUI?
Uh, GUI. No, actually, I mean, for security operations, I haven't worked on that. I
Okay.
have basic knowledge only, very basic knowledge.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. So I think we have already crossed the time. I'm so sorry I didn't. Mostly it will happen in all the trainings because once I start giving the trainings, you could just stop me that we are running out of the time and all those things. But I want you that if you are making an interest, just please make sure that at least you keep a 15 minutes or 30 minutes buffer so that we can extend our training wherever it is required. Okay. So I think we have solved most of the queries. You can mail any of your further expectations or queries directly to Nilma. She'll forward me your queries and I'll reply on you on the mails. Okay. So Nilma, I think we are good to close. Most of the queries I tried to resolve. I'm happy for that, but I think there are some more queries which we can communicate on the email further. So Nilma, now back to you.
Yes, yes. So yeah, we can close the session for now. Yeah, I'll update you if
No.
I
Thank
got
you.
any
Thank you,
emails
Nilma.
regarding the
Thank
technical
you everyone
issues.
for your time
Yes.
and joining.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Shobit. Thank you, Nirima.
Bye. Bye. Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Be safe. safe, be healthy. Thank you.
Thank you.